Hi everyone, Success Coach Michelle Weimer here with this week's Masterful Mindset. So our thought this week is, when something goes wrong in your life, just yell, plot twist, and move on. So my questions for you this week is just to think about what happens when the story that you write for your life doesn't turn out like you thought that it would. Do you sit there and you stare at a blank page, or do you pick up the pen and start writing again? So I want to share a story with you today that's actually quite personal for me. Some of you may have already heard it, but my husband and I tried for many, many years to have children. And of course, the original story that I had written for myself was, the fairy tale that everybody probably dreams of. Maybe not everybody, but so many people do, is you get married and, a couple years later have babies and raise them and yada, 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 live happily ever after. But as we all know, oftentimes there are plot twists in our lives. And for he and I, the plot twist was that it wasn't that easy. We weren't able to have children right away. We tried for 8 years. We went through tons of intensive infertility treatments. And, finally we hit a point in our lives where we just couldn't do it anymore. We realized that our life was taking a different route, that the story that we thought we had written was not going to be our story. And we found that we had to have acceptance and peace at that point in our lives. And we decided to rewrite that story. I remember vividly the moment I decided that, or not just myself, but he and I decided that if we were going to be childless, we were going to live the lives of a childless couple, and we were going to travel and get into great physical shape and, just rewrite that story and make a new happy ending for ourselves. And that's exactly what I started to do, what we started to do. Interestingly enough, the story took another plot twist, and about a year after we finally stopped all treatment, I became pregnant with the child that's now our oldest daughter. She's 15 years old. And about 3 years later, we had our second child. So we've gone back to having our dream as having a happy family and writing these chapters in our life right now, watching them grow up and raising them. But that plot twist was a rough spot, and we could have easily just stopped writing, just sat there and stared at the blank page. And yes, when you have a plot twist in your life, sometimes you have to sit there for a little while until you decide what you will write for that next chapter or how you will change that story. But what I want to really encourage you to do today is to not give up. There's so many people who have stories of plot twists in their lives. Maybe it's a health issue that changes your life forever. Maybe it's a divorce or a death in the family that changes your life forever. Maybe it's something else that's not even that big, well, I shouldn't say not that big. Maybe it's a career change, or, maybe it's a point in your life where you get laid off, or, so that career change may be intentional or unintentional. Whatever the case, we all have plot twists here and there in our lives that take us to other places. But the one thing that usually happens when we look back is that it's not so much about the plot twists as it is about how we keep writing moving forward. So I want to encourage you today, and actually my challenge for you this week, if your storyline has taken a plot twist, then I want to encourage you to decide right now that you are going to, number one, acknowledge and embrace that plot twist. Just embrace where you are right now. And number two, decide that you will, you will rewrite that story from this point forward. And then really feel into how empowering it is to know that you're going to create that alternate ending, and that's, that's okay. And then pick up the pen and set your sights on moving forward. So that's my challenge for you this week. Again, if you have a plot twist and things aren't turning out like you had planned or like you thought that they would, then pick up that pen and start writing that alternate ending. Rewrite that story so that it fits your life from where you are now moving forward. The most important thing is that you just keep moving forward. All right, so just remember that just because life may take you, or your story may take a few twists and turns, it doesn't mean that you still can't have a happy ending. So with that, I want to wish you well and happy writing, and goodbye for now.